Gotta find yours.
How do I know if I'm on or not? You just don't.
You know what? I might have handed somebody yours, and they're not gonna be happy. I gotta go down there and look.
The D8 is 4 to the guy with 10. Yeah, okay, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
And somebody's got Daryl's, and they're not gonna be happy. Cause they have no bread.
Here, Evan. Back to the second day of the 2023 South Carolina Dixie Boys State Tournament. In today's matchup, we have the home team, Tri-County, taking on the away team, Jefferson. At the plate right now for Tri-County, we got number 12, Tylen Parker, the catcher. My apologies. Looks like we have Jefferson up to hit. My apologies on that one. Number 10, Bryson Eubank. He's actually the starting third baseman for Jefferson.
On the bottom there. Yeah, that one right there.
Pardon me, as we're having fixing up some little technical problems that we've been having up here for the past couple of weeks. Seem to get going now. We're going to be going pretty good today. So this is Jefferson's first game. That ball's hit far to the right side. It's a foul ball. He looks like he's got a little bit of power. If he can get on the ball, he might be able to drive it deep in the center field. I don't know if we've seen a home run yet this tournament. I'm being told we've just seen just one. But always exciting with boys this age. They're able to hit the ball pretty far and get some fireworks going, really gets the fans going. We have a 2-2 count right now. The pitcher for Tri-County is number 00, Vincent Gibson. As it's a third strike right there. We got his first K of the evening. Next up to bat for Jefferson, number 1, Aiden Welch. He's their starting second baseman.
Aiden Welch.
So Aiden Welch, his normal position is actually shortstop and pitcher, but he's filling in at second base today as that ball's a little bit outside on that one. 1-0 the count. Aiden's favorite food is tacos. I'm sure he filled up before his first game today. One and one is the count. It was a good pitch right there by Gibson. Here comes the windup. Ball in the dirt. Ball 2-2-1 the count. Aiden's favorite TV show is actually Sandlot. It's a classic baseball movie that's been around for many years. Came out in the early 90s. But let's see if he can do his best impression of Benny the Jet Rodriguez. If he can get on base. That's another big strike right there. And Gibson's throwing some type of heat on the mound. 2-2 the count. Aiden's favorite song is Solo by Future. Another sports that he likes to play is football. Another ball, and I believe we got ourselves a full count here. 3-2 the count. Gets back up in the box. Gibson gives him the old windup. And there's another strike. That's 2 Ks now for Gibson. That's a good way to start your day. Is Jefferson starting off?
Batting number 3, Aiden Eric.
Jefferson starting out their first time on the field this tournament with 2 batters and 2 down. Next up to bat is actually another Aiden Aran. He's actually the starting catcher for Jefferson. Aiden Aran's favorite baseball player is actually Bryce Harper. Hits home for me because I'm a big Phillies fan. 2-0 the count right now.
16 pitches.
So even though Bryce Harper is his favorite player, he's actually an Atlanta Braves fan. Don't see that very often considering that Bryce Harper played for 2 rivals teams of the Braves. And there's another pitch, and that one's actually a strike. Got 2-1 the count. Gibson sitting in a pretty good position here on the mound, feeling pretty good about himself. And like I said, a great way to start his day on that mound for his team. Foul tip, 2-2. Aiden's favorite food is his mom's Alfredo bake. So big shout out to Mrs. Arant. Getting some good food. Probably made it to him last night, so you get ready for today's game. Carbo loading. Another pitch down. That's a far foul ball into the parking lot. Let's hope nobody needs a new windshield after that one. 2-2 still the count right here as Aiden is battling back. Gets the call. Here comes the pitch with the windup. Ball outside. We got ourselves a full count. 3-2. Aiden's hobby includes baseball and fishing. Real man's man, if you ask me. And that's Gibson's 3rd K of the day already, starting off quick.
19 pitches for Tyler Parker.
As we switch up the field right now, Jefferson's taking the field. So my apologies. Actually, on the mound for Tri-County was Tylen Parker. And actually, the catcher was Gibson. So 3 Ks, 3 up, 3 down for Tylen Parker, and that's a great way for Tri-County to start the day. So pitching today for Jefferson is actually Aiden Arant, the last batter we just saw up. Let's see if he can match the great start that Tylen Parker had. See if we can get a pitching duel going on up here. For Jefferson in the field, on the mound, we have number 3, Aiden Arant. Yep, number 3 on the mound, Aiden Arant. Behind the plate, we have number 25, Landon Crawford at first base. We have number 44, Kingston Jackson at second base. Number 1, Aiden Welch at third base. Number 10, Bryson Eubanks at shortstop. Number 13, Tucker Rogers at left field. Number 4, Jackson Kirkley at center field. Number 7, Blake Sowell. And at right field, number 23, Bryson Deese. Their substitutions for today are number 34, Connor Whittaker, and number 99, Chance Bass. Leadoff batter for Tri-County is their pitcher, Tylen Parker, who just started off the game with 3 straight Ks. And he's swinging for the fences here. He's trying to do it all on the field out there. See if we can find a little bit more out about Tylen Parker here, as we are now at a 1-1 count. That's his first K right there for Aiden Arant. Now up to bat for Tri-County. Number 2, Briar Long, who's the starting second baseman for Tri-County. One strike. 0-1 the count. Briar Long's favorite food is pizza. His favorite baseball team is actually the Braves. And once again, his favorite sports idol is Bryce Harper. That's a hard foul ball, goes into the top right of the fence. Almost hit his man on deck, Hall Reese. We're looking at a 1-2 count here, as Aiden tries to match what Tylen Parker did for Tri-County on the mound. He's giving his signal to his catcher. Ball's in the dirt. Got a 2-2 count here. As I was saying, Briar Long's favorite sports idol is actually Bryce Harper. So this is the second player we've had here that big fan of the Braves, but also a big Bryce Harper fan. As that ball is hit, clean play for second baseman to make, and that's a nice play right there out at first base. Great play right there by Aiden Welch. Now batting, the starting shortstop for Tri-County, number 7, Hall Cease. Hall Cease is a tall young man, as we can see out there, kind of almost towering over our blue behind the plate. Strike. Ooh. Ball's real inside as we got a 1-1 count. Hall's favorite food, and one of his favorite foods to have before the game, is a big old steak. 2-1 the count. Hall's sitting in a pretty seat right here. His favorite baseball team is the Braves. His favorite sports idol is Jeremy Rowland. His favorite artist is Morgan Wallen. The other sports he likes to play is football. He enjoys riding horses, and when he grows up, he doesn't know what he wants to be. The man that plays at this level of talent. And we got another 3 up, 3 down here as we go into the second inning with nobody getting on base for both teams.
14 pitches for Aiden Laurent.
Aiden Laurent's got 2 Ks right there as we go into the second inning. So as we're heading into the second inning, let's talk a little bit about Tri-County as they walk out on the field. Tri-County on the mound today, we have number 12, Tylen Parker. Their catcher, number 00, Vincent Gibson at first base. They have number 8, Aiden Rutland at second base. Number 2, Briar Long at third base. Number 24, Joe Huggins at shortstop. Number 7, Hall Cease at left field. Number 5, Corbin Perry at center field. Number 10, Reese Still. And at right field, number 14, Jake Runkle. They have 5 substitutions today on the bench. Number 4, Caden Rowland. Number 1, Hunter Steedley. Number 3, Riley Cadell. Number 6, Reese Cadell. Number 11, Brad Hightower. So it looks like we got ourselves a set of brothers out there, which is always cool to see, especially in youth sports. Not very often do you get to play with your siblings, but not only are they getting a chance to play with their siblings, but they're playing with their siblings at a state tournament. So we're talking about some pretty big family excitement coming from the Cadell family.
Hitting off for Jefferson, number 25, Landon Crawford.
Landon Crawford leading off for Jefferson today. He is their starting catcher, number 25. As Tylen Parker tries to continue his dominance on the mound, puts that one in the dirt, 1-0 the count. That ball's hit deep to center field, a little bit outside. This is looking like it's going to be a double. Center fielder having a hard time picking up the ball. Ball's in, and that's a clean double right there by number 25, Landon Crawford. Next up to bat for Jefferson, number 7, Blake Sowell, center fielder. Now that's Tyler Parker's first hit allowed, and that's a mighty good hit too. Deep center field ball. Looks like our scoreboard's out right now, but as we mentioned, the score is 0-0 in the top of the second. Tylen Parker winds up, shows a bunt, and we got a stolen base third by number 25, Landon Crawford. Blake Sowell trying to make some magic happen and bring in possibly the first score of the game. As Crawford is in scoring position, we got one duck on the pond ready to come on home. Pitch in. That's straight down the barrel. That's another strike right there.
Two.
Blake's favorite food is steak. His favorite movie is Bad Boys with Martin Lawrence and Will Smith. Part of a trilogy of movies that are all good. His favorite baseball team is the LA Dodgers. His sports idol is Fernando Titus Jr. Ball comes in, and that's another K for Tylen Parker as we are leaving Crawford on third base right now. Crawford might have to wait for another batter.
Tucker Rogers.
Let's hope number 13, Tucker Rogers, the starting shortstop, can bring it home. Now, Tucker Rogers, I was looking through some of his information. He normally plays either second or shortstop, so he's starting today at shortstop. 1-0 the count. His favorite food is pizza. His favorite movie is Top Gun. Now, he doesn't list if it's Top Gun Maverick or the original Top Gun, like many of us here in the booth remember seeing. There's a strike. 1-1 the count. His favorite baseball team, like we're going to see very often today, is the Atlanta Braves. His favorite sports idol, Ronald Acuna Jr. Here comes the pitch. That's a ball outside. 2-1 the count. His favorite song is One Thing at a Time by Morgan Wallen. Other sports that he likes to play are basketball and soccer. So he's a three-sport athlete. Also enjoys some hunting and fishing. Here comes another pitch. Three-two the count, or 2-2 count. My apologies. That was a low pitch inside of the strike zone. 3-2 the count. We got ourselves a full count. Now, Tucker Rogers had one of the most interesting answers that I've had up here in the booth. When he grows up, Tucker either wants to be a baseball player, a taxidermist, or a floor sander. That's a foul tip. The young man says he likes to keep his options open, and maybe like Morgan Wallen says, he wrote the book on a lot of things, but he didn't write that one. Foul tip, keeping himself alive. Got ourselves a full count. Man on third. Crawford is just trying to come home to put the first points on the board for today's game. And there's a strike.
Now batting number 5, Wyatt Ford.
Now batting number 5, Wyatt Ford. He's actually DHing today for number 23, Brian Deese. That's a ball outside. Tylen Parker has 5 Ks on today already. And obviously, when you get designated the position of your hitter, you obviously can put the bat on the ball. And that one's a foul tip. Shooting down right by the on-base circle. Wyatt Ford typically plays outfield, but like I said, he's just DHing today. His favorite food is pizza. That ball's in the dirt. Crawford's flirting with the idea of maybe coming home, but Gibson's got the ball pretty secured behind plate there. His favorite movie is Back to the Future. And once again, we got another Atlanta Braves fans. We're going to see that a lot down here, being down here in the low country. 2-1 the count right now. His favorite sports idol, Mickey Mantle. Kicking it old school with that one. His favorite song and band, once again, this man must have an old soul. Queen is his favorite. Oh, almost hits our infield umpire. Ball is shot. Her first score in. That's a solid single. Crawford score, and that puts Jefferson up 1-0 at the top of the second.
Now batting number 44, Kingston Jackson.
Now batting number 44, Kingston Jackson. He's actually the starting first baseman for Jefferson. And as I mentioned, this is Jefferson's first game. They got a first-round bye. Kingston is a lefty, which is always valuable to have on any baseball team. He also pitches, so hopefully we'll see him on the mound today. Got a big lead off right there. He's going. And he is safe. A little bit delayed reaction right there by the infield umpire. As Wyatt Ford advances. 2-0 the count right here for Kingston Jackson. Kingston Jackson's favorite food is watermelon, and his favorite movie is The Blind Side. 3-0 the count right now. His favorite baseball team, the Chicago Cubs. His favorite sports idol is Anthony Rizzo. Oh! Got ourselves a hit batter. Wasn't sure if that was a foul ball because he left his bat up high. I'm sure his baseball coach will tell him in the future once that he knows that he's okay to get that bat down. Now batting number 4, Jackson Kirkley. Looks like we're having some conversation to make sure that Kingston's all right. We got a man on second and first with Jackson Kirkley up to bat. Jackson Kirkley is the starting left fielder for today, but typically he plays second base also. And that ball is a little bit high above the strike zone, but straight down the lane. His favorite food is hamburgers, and he is a big war movie buff. Likes watching any movie that has to do with war. I'm sure he's a big historian as well. There's a strike. 1-1 the count. Now, as many of the kids down here, as you can guess, his favorite team, the Atlanta Braves, and his favorite sports idol, Acuna Jr. I imagine a lot of these Braves fans are going to be Acuna's fans. He's a very good baseball player. We got a 1-2 the count. His favorite song is Kryptonite by 3 Doors Down. And the other sports he likes to play are basketball. In his free time, he enjoys gaming and fishing. And when he grows up, he left it blank. That's another K for Tylen Parker as he kind of squeaks himself out of the inning, stops the bleeding, as he has now pitched 6 Ks and allowed 1 run and only 3 men on base. Now, just to remind everybody, these boys are the 14U team, so a lot of these boys play middle school and some even play some high school ball. So there's going to be a lot of talent, a lot of really good baseball players on the field over the next couple of days. Our leadoff batter is going to be number 24, Joe Huggins, the starting third baseman for Tri-County. On the mound still for Jefferson is number 3, Aiden Arant. He had 2 Ks in the first and 1 grounder that got him out at first base as second baseman. So 3 up, 3 down for the first inning for both teams. And then when we got into the second inning, Tylen Parker had one or two balls get away from him in the strike zone. Crawford ran in to score for Jefferson, and now the score is 1-0 in the bottom of the second. Joe Huggins, as I said, is a starting third baseman today for Tri-County. He also plays catcher and pitcher. His favorite food? Pickles. Doesn't have a favorite movie, and once again, a Braves fan. Doesn't have a favorite song, doesn't have a favorite sports idol. He enjoys hunting and fishing, and he also plays football when he's not playing baseball. A lot of these young men, they're multiple sport athletes. Is something you like to see at such young ages. 3 years ago in the NFL draft, they're out of the 32 first-round picks, 23 of them were multi-sport athletes in high school, and 3 of them were multi-sport athletes in college. So the diversity in your skill set as a young athlete can really take you far in life and teach you a lot of discipline. First pitch right there, a little bit below the strike zone, 1-0 the count.
Batting for Tri-County, number 24,
Joe Huggins.
2-0 the count as Arant tries to battle his way back facing the 2-0 count. Apologize, tried to fix the microphone there. 2-1 the count right now. Here comes the pitch. Little bit inside, but that's a strike. 2-2 count right now. Been some pretty good pitching right now by Arant. And that ball's low and outside. As a 3-2 count, got ourselves a full count here. Joe Huggins trying to put a ball in play, at least get himself on base and be the first base runner. Arant's got his 3rd K of today.
now batting number 14, Jake Runkel.
Now batting, the right fielder, number 14, Jake Runkle. Jake Runkle plays first base, outfield, and pitcher. Here comes a pitch right down the old pipeline, but a little bit low. Ball 1. Joe Runkle's a big fan of chicken nuggets and loves the movie Grown Ups, which I'm a big fan of the movie Grown Ups as well. Huge Adam Sandler fan. 1-1 the count. Favorite baseball team, the Atlanta Braves, as he shows a bunt, tips it, doesn't put it in play. 1-2 the count right now. Here comes another pitch. Big swing. And that is now the 4th K right there for Arant, as he's hoping to go 3 up, 3 down this inning and make up for his 1 hit ball. Reese Still is now up to bat. He is the starting center fielder for Tri-County. Reese's favorite food, watermelon. Favorite movie, Talladega Nights. 0-1 the count right now. Talladega Nights, one of the favorite movies of a lot of young kids and a great movie for quoting. 0-2 the count as Arant is really feeling himself right now. Favorite baseball team is the Reds. Favorite sports idol. Oof. And that is a clean inning by Arant. 3 up, 3 down. And out of 6 possible Ks, he's got 5.
Pitch count for Aiden Arant, 27.
Tri-County taking the field, and Tylen Parker's putting on a real show out there. Putting on a real show. He's seen 9 batters, has struck out 6 of them, and only allowed 1 run. Whereas Arant has seen 6 batters, has struck out 5 of them, and has allowed none to get on base. So the cool thing about this tournament is before the games actually start, we get a list of different information and fun facts about each of the kids. Get a little bit more personal, get to know them a little bit more, since a lot of you guys have just seen them for the first time. So leadoff batter, we're actually back at the top of the lineup for Jefferson. Number 10, Bryson Eubanks. Bryson's favorite food is steak.
Number 10, Bryson.
He enjoys eating steak while he watches his favorite movie, Gridiron Gang, one of the first movies by Dwayne Johnson that kind of sparked his movie career. Once again, favorite team, Atlanta Braves. Favorite sports idol, Dansby Swanson. He hits a nice ball to shortstop. That's a clean play. Out at first. 6-3.
Now batting number 1, Aiden Welch.
Now batting number 1, Aiden Welch. Jefferson's got a pretty easy time for the coaches to get the kids' names. They got 2 Aidens on their team, 2 Brysons, 2 kids with Jackson in their name. So I imagine it's pretty confusing. There's probably a lot of nicknames as he gets his first K, or first strike. Hit the batter. Must have clipped his shoulder. Now batting the pitcher, number 3, the other Aiden Arant. Aiden Arant's had a pretty good showing today. Hasn't allowed anybody on base. And let's see if he can do something with the bat. Last time out, he struck out. Looks like the coach is coming in to talk to Parker. I can't imagine that he's going to be pulling him. I imagine he's just going to probably tell him to settle down, let him know that he's doing really well. Speaking of coaches for Tri-County, we got a little bit of the information up here on the coaches too, which is always fun to read. So Tri-County is actually led by 3 coaches. First being Jeremy Rowland. His job is he's an investigator. His favorite food is Japanese. His favorite movie, Rush Hour. Once again, the Atlanta Braves fan. Favorite sports site on Andrew Jones. As Tylen Parker resumes his job on the mound. Pitcher versus pitcher right now. See if Arant can get something going. Looks like they're trying to catch Aiden Welch. Trying to steal third or second base. Gibson does appear to have somewhat of a pretty powerful arm, so stealing on him might be harder. And Aiden Welch is respecting Gibson's ability to gun somebody down at second base as the shortstop is drop ball. That is a deep single. Really only an error allowed.
Now batting number 25, Landon Crawford.
Landon Crawford, the only man to score today, is the one up to bat. So let's see if he can continue his success at the plate and bring in the 2 Aidens to score. Now in baseball, errors are what makes and breaks your game. Left fielder out there. Number 5, Corbin Perry. Hoping to shake that one off. Let's hope this young man bounces back. Landon Crawford's favorite food? McDonald's. He said value menu, number 1, number 2, number 3. He likes it all. There's not a bad meal that McDonald's has, and he's loving it. His favorite movie is Fast and the Furious. Once again, a Braves fan. And his favorite sports idol, Mean Mike Tyson. That ball's hit. His favorite song An artist is Grace by Little Baby. He enjoys playing football and basketball. His favorite hobby, sleeping. When he grows up, he wants to be a Major League Baseball player. I've enjoyed reading some of these kids' favorite sports titles, some of them being real throwbacks, especially being Mike Tyson. Many people nowadays just know Mike Tyson as the personality, but back in the 80s and 90s, he was a ferocious boxer. And that ball is straight up the middle. And I can imagine Aiden Welch is coming in. Center fielder got a cannon on him. Sliding, he's safe, but still good throw, good stop. Score now goes to 2-0, and Crawford hits a nice double there. And he continues to the success of Jefferson scoring.
Now batting number 7, Blake Soul.
Now batting number 7, Blake Soul. So now we have 2 guys in scoring position with Blake Soul on the field. We're all behind the mound, ready to bat.
Left fielder, number 10.
When Blake grows up, he wants to be a master barber. Probably could have used him a week ago. I needed a haircut, some type of bad. There's another pitch, foul tip. Oh, Tylen Parker showing some of his athletic ability, playing a little wall ball with himself after that foul tip. Blake Soul's favorite song, Set It Off by Lil Boozy. One, two, the count. Tylen hasn't struck anybody out this inning after starting off very dominant in the first 2 innings. Allowed another play. Second baseman picks it up. This should be a pretty routine play out at first, but runner does score. Aiden Arant scores the run, who's also the pitcher for Jefferson.
Now batting number 13, Tucker Rogers.
Crawford once again finds himself on third base with Tucker Rogers, the man of many talents when he grows up, trying to bring him home. As I mentioned, Tucker Rogers, when he grows up, has got a lot of options, as he'd like to say, for what he wants to be. Here comes a pitch. It's a low strike. He wants to either be a baseball player, a taxidermist, or a floor sander. Taxidermist is a pretty unique job. But he does enjoy hunting and fishing, so it's probably where he got his first taste of it. Probably has a couple of trophies hanging on the wall from his excursions of hunting. Oh, 1 the count. Here comes the pitch by Tylen. It's a low ball outside. 2-2 the count. Umpire did a little bit of finagling with his fingers. I thought he was going to have me steal home from up here, but eventually he gets his count correct. 2-2 the count. Tucker Rogers trying to put the ball in play. That's a deep foul ball heading on to the other field. One of these young boys is going to go home with a souvenir. Two the count. Once again, he's got Crawford on third base. Crawford might as well. 3-2 the count. Got ourselves a full count. As I was saying, Crawford so far, every time he has been eligible to bat or up to bat in an inning, he's found himself on third base. Pretty sure he's going to start setting up a bed and a desk out there because he's going to try to make third base his home. Another K by Tylen Parker as we now go into the bottom of the third inning, 3-0 with Jefferson leading. Tylen Parker has 7 Ks on today.
66 pitches for Tylen Parker.
Tylen Parker has 66 pitches, and for Dixie boys, it is extremely important to monitor the kids' pitch count for their safety, health, and fairness of the games. Aiden Arant still on the mound. For Jefferson. Now let's talk a little bit about the unsung heroes, the volunteers for Jefferson. Jefferson is led by Doug Hinson. He's a general contractor by trade. His favorite food is Mexican. Favorite movie, Forrest Gump, which being down here in the low country and being so close to Savannah, Forrest Gump has a lot of little footprints around this area as we almost get hit with a ball over here on first field side. But as I was saying, Forrest Gump, a lot of roots, a lot of history here in the Bluffton, Beaufort, and Savannah area. Favorite baseball team, the Atlanta Braves. His favorite sports idol, one of my favorite sports idols as well, Chipper Jones. His favorite song or band is Bob Seger. Sports he played growing up was baseball and football, and he also enjoys hunting and fishing. Landon Hicks is another coach for Jefferson. Looks like he's employed by IMET Alloys. He enjoys eating steak while watching the Braves. But his favorite sports idol, Bryce Harper. Let me say, as a Phillies fan, as a man born and raised in the good old 215, it's always good to see some representation of Philadelphia down here and some fandom. So being a Bryce Harper fan. His favorite song is by Morgan Wallen. And some of the sports he played growing up was baseball, basketball, and football. Aiden Rutland up to bat for Tri-County. That ball's a little bit on the inside for ball one. Landon Hicks, the coach for Jefferson, enjoys drag racing, hanging out with his friends, and going to the beach or the lake. Man likes to have a good time. Strike one. One the count. That was kind of a lackadaisical swing there by Rutland. 1-2 the count. Here comes another pitch. And once again, a lackadaisical swing. I'm not really sure if he was hesitant or thought he just wanted to put it in play.
Corbin Perry.
Now batting number 5, Corbin Perry. Now, if you remember in the last time Jefferson at bat, Corbin did have a little bit of an error out there in left field, but I think he's going to rebound right here, try to get some action. As Aiden Arant has not allowed anybody on base, but I'm thinking a guy with such a great last name like Perry that he shares with myself, I think he's going to get on base here and make it a little bit closer of a game here for Tri-County. Ball gets away from the catcher there, but say we got a 3-0 count as Aiden Arant finds himself in a pretty unique position here, battling back. Hopefully he's going to throw some balls that Perry will swing at. And that is Aiden's first man allowed on base. Corbin Perry, and as I mentioned, great last name. We share it. No relation, though. Now batting, number 00, Gibson. He's actually the starting catcher for Tri-County. Vincent's favorite move. Oh, he lays down a bunt, but it goes backwards. That was a quick showing of the bunt, and he laid it down. Gibson looks like he's got some wheels on him after those first 2 steps. His favorite movie, Norbit, by Eddie Murphy. His favorite sports idol is, I believe he's trying to say Lamar Jackson. He has written down Omar Jackson, so if there is a famous, Arant hits a batter, and Gibson takes the base. Little bit of bleeding going on here for Arant. Let's see if he can put a tourniquet on it and stop the bleeding. Tylen Parker's first time up at bat in the bottom of the 3rd inning. He is the competing pitcher. Pitcher versus pitcher. This is something you always like to see. And he lays down a bunt. Aiden Arant putting on the wheels. Got him out. Sacrificial bunt. No score, though. Does put his men in scoring positions.
Now batting number 2, Briar Long.
Now batting number 2, Briar Long. He's actually the starting second baseman. Last time out there, Briar Long was struck out. Ball gets away, and we got to play at home first as Perry scores the first run. Oh, no. Wow, a little bit of a mistake there by the catcher. He decided to throw to third and allowed 2 runs in. As both Corbin Perry and Vincent Gibson score on that one. Coach for Jefferson heads on out there. Try to talk to his pitcher. Try to settle it down because this is now a ball game, folks. We got 2-3 ball game. 2 runs scored on that error by the catcher and the third baseman. Still batting. Number 2, Briar Long. He's got a 1-0 the count.
Number 7, Ty.
Bases are empty. Nobody on base, but looks like Iran's kind of inspired again. Throws one right down the plate with some heat.
Jensen, Dylan Simpson. Number 10, Ashton Smith.
That's a ball hit to the right fielder catch, and the bleeding has officially stopped. 2-3 the score as we head into the 4th inning.
Number 9, Pitch count for Hayden Rye, 41 pitches for Hayden Rye.
Tri-County, and we'll talk a little bit about their coaches. Volunteers don't get enough credit sometimes, especially taking these boys all the way to the States. It's a lot of time and dedication and a lot of passion put in for these kids. And as a coach myself, you know, it's something that kind of hold close to my heart. So these guys do deserve some credit. The coaches for Tri-County are Jeremy Rowland. He's a private investigator. His favorite food is Japanese. Likes watching Rush Hour. Baseball team, once again, the Atlanta Braves. His favorite sports idol, Andrew Jones. His favorite song is Meet in the Middle by Diamond Rio. I'm not too familiar with that song. Sports he played growing up, baseball, basketball, football, and soccer. He was a busy young man, and he enjoys playing guitar and hunting. Another coach for Tri-County, Joey Rutland. He's a market manager. He enjoys eating chicken. His favorite movie, Remember the Titans. Great movie, great sports movie. Maybe the greatest sports movie of all time. Favorite sports team? You guessed it, the Atlanta Braves. Favorite sports idol? The General, Peyton Manning. Possibly one of the greatest quarterbacks we've seen in the modern era. Favorite band? Def Leppard, and he enjoys fishing. The third coach for Tri-County, Jody Huggins. His occupation is sawmill, real blue-collar guy, enjoys eating some steak. Favorite movie? Tombstone. Favorite sports team? The Atlanta Braves. Enjoys the singing and songwriting of Waylon Jennings. Growing up, he played football, baseball, and he also enjoys hunting and fishing. Leadoff batter for Jefferson, number 5, Wyatt Ford.
Number 5, Wyatt Ford.
Wyatt Ford is the designated hitter today. He's actually filling in for Deese. One 0 the count. Another ball hits the dirt. 2-0 the count. Been a close ball game so far today. 2-3 is the score. Been great pitching by both teams. And that ball's hit straight. Oh, right off the glove of the third baseman. And that right there is an error to the third baseman as he gets to first base safely. Now batting number 99, Chance Bass.
99, Chance Bass.
When you got a name like Chance Bass, you got to have some type of 6 skills. Chance Bass, favorite food? Pizza. Favorite movie, Bad News Bears? His favorite sports idol, Aaron Judge. Let's see if he can pull a little bit of his mentor and put that ball deep into the field.
Now batting number 2, Garrett Hughes.
So far today, we've just seen a couple of errors that have led to scores. Besides that, there's only been one ball hit deep to center field that was a clean play. That's a big hack right there by Bass. 2-1 the count. Ooh, ball gets away. As the man on first advances to second on a loose ball. 2-2 the count. Let's see if Chance Bass can make something happen. 3-2 the count. Got ourselves a full count. In Chance's free time, he enjoys playing baseball and basketball. And when he grows up, he wants to be an MLB player. One of his favorite pump-up songs is written by Quando Rondo. And there's another K for Tylen Parker. Now batting, number 4, Jackson Kirkley. Number 9.
Now batting number 4, Jackson Kirkley.
Jackson Kirkley enjoys himself a big old hamburger before each game. Gives him some power and some protein. Pretty healthy lead right there. 1-1 the count. Hefty lead by Ford. Shortstop's almost walk completely behind second base at this point. 2-1 the count. Up here in the press box with me announcing, I have Evan Christian, the athletic manager for Beaufort County. And on the scorebook and pitch count, I got Daryl Catola, the Joe Paterno of Beaufort County. He's been here for years. Everybody knows him and everybody loves him.
71. 71. Total. 71.
2-2 the count. Three, 2 the count. Got a man on second. And they're walking that shortstop completely over to second base. That should be a walk right there. And he takes his base.
Now batting number 10, Bryson Eubanks.
Bryson Eubanks up to bat. Hoping he can get these guys in scoring position or maybe even bring one of these guys home to kind of increase their lead. He wants to grow up and be a major league baseball player, as a lot of these young boys do down here in the Dixie League. And rightfully so. They have a lot of talent just to be here in the first place and are really putting on quite a showcase for some of their future high schools, colleges, and for some of the hopefuls professional teams. Ooh. He thought about swinging but didn't. 1-1 the count. Here comes the windup and the pitch. Ball gets loose, and you know what that means. Runners are advancing. Been a little bit more aggressive base running after the second inning by Jefferson. Any loose ball by that catcher, they're going, and Tri-County did the same thing. That's actually how Tri-County scored. Ball got away from the catcher, and then he made an errant throw to the third baseman who missed the ball. And that allowed two of their runs to score, which is why the score is now 2-3, with Jefferson leading at the top of the fourth. Here comes another pitch. That one's a little bit high, left corner of the strike zone. So now we got 3-1 the count. Excuse me. Oh, another hit batter. That's dead center of the back right there. He's going to try to limp this one off. And that now puts the bases loaded or juiced, as they say, for number 1, Aiden Welch. Gibson out there talking to Parker, maybe talking him up, telling him it's okay, shake it off. Still a tight ball game. Looks like we got the manager coming on out to talk Tylen. Looks like they're going to bring in the right fielder. To pitch. And they're going to send Tylen Parker out there to center field. Tylen Parker did pitch a pretty good game. He had 7 Ks today. Looks like the new pitcher for Tri-County is number 5.
Final pitch count for Tylen Parker, 86. 86 pitches for Tylen Parker.
Number 5, Corbin Perry, the man who scored the first points for Tri-County, is now on the mound. Hopefully he can take this game over. And I do apologize. I gave the error to Corbin Perry last time, but it actually... Oh, no, Corbin Perry was out in left field with that error, but I believe maybe they wrote it down wrong. Could have been number 14, Jake Runkle. But little mistakes are what's going to cost you a game. I was actually, as I mentioned, fortunate enough to coach a state team a couple weeks ago with the little rookie class, and we had a pretty good run there, and unfortunately didn't go our way, but it was just an honor truly to be in states and to be a part of this Dixie entity as we were there with the 6U boys. Looks like Corbin Perry's ready to go, and he's trying to lead Tri-County back into the position to take this game back over. But bases are loaded, and one of the Aiden's takes over as we got Aiden Welch at the plate right now.
Now batting number 1, Aiden Welch.
Aiden Welch has scored so far in this game. Hit a clean single and eventually led him into scoring. He's one of those 3 points up on the board along with Crawford. Corbin's first pitch. Ball inside. Gibson's got to be on his P's and Q's at that catcher because he has got some aggressive base running by Jefferson happening. That ball's hit straight to the shortstop. He kind of fumbles it. Gotten out at third. Third base coach not too happy. Think he thought his man coming from second could have slid in and got that. Now batting the pitcher, number 3, Aiden Aran, as they got the Aidens back-to-back in their hitting lineup. So just yell Aiden, and one of these boys is going to come running. Both of them are good ball players, so see if we can make something happen here. 1 run scored, another errant throw to the catcher. He picks up the ball as both runners advance one base. Perry got to just kind of find his rhythm, just like he did at batting. Take a little bit of time. For some boys, this is a big stage for a lot of these boys. More fans and obviously more cameras than probably they've seen before. Another far ball outside. Corbin seems to throw the ball to his right a little bit more. So once he gets dialed in, tries to center his throw, should be a pretty good ball game because he's got some speed on his balls. Two ducks on the pond with massive leads. That ball is chopped to the left field, and that's going to be a double. Brings in 2 run. Once again, Aiden Arant continues his dominance of today's game as he does a little shimmy out there on his nice double. Brought in number 1, Aiden, and number 10, Eubanks. And now up to bat, number 25, Crawford. Crawford has scored every time he's been up to bat.
25, Landon Crawford.
Crawford trying to get back to what I call his apartment by the beach at third base because he's been there every time he's been out to bat. Crawford's actually the starting catcher. There's a pitch right there. A little bit high inside for ball 1. There is 2 outs in this inning, but 3 runs have scored. Oh, once again, Corbin Perry seems to have something dialed into that. His far right side or be our left. Kind of a little bit concerning when you consider the fact that most batters are right-handed, so he's looking like he could hit a lot of batters if he doesn't hone this ball in. I don't think Crawford seems to care how he gets on base. He just wants to get on base as he's got 2-0 the count. Takes a swing at it. Looks like he reached a little bit forward. That puts 2-1 the count. Here comes another pitch. That ball's hit high. Nice little pop fly. Can the first baseman make a catch? Oh, no, he doesn't. As Crawford out at second base. Run does score. Aiden Arant scores.
Perry, 8 pitches for Corbin Perry.
Corbin Perry off to a little bit of a shaky start, but close out that inning. As the score is now 7-2 as we enter the 5th inning. Oh, I apologize. The bottom of the 4th inning. My apologies on that one there. If I seem a little lackadaisical today, it is my first day back from a lovely vacation. But I am so happy and proud to be doing what I do. Sometimes work doesn't even feel like work. You come in, you get to watch some great baseball, get to call some good games with some good people, and might as well just be on vacation still because it's so enjoyable. Looks like there's going to be some changes made to the lineup for Jefferson. Our leadoff batter is going to be number 7 for Tri-County, Hall Cease. Hall Cease is our leadoff batter for Tri-County. In his free time, he enjoys riding horses. Jefferson's going to be trying to maintain this pretty dominant lead at the bottom of the 2nd. At the bottom of the 4th. 7-2. This is a winner bracket game, which means both these teams, win or lose, will play again tomorrow. So the winner of this game will actually go on and play the winner of our 3 o'clock game between Union and Beaufort County. And the loser of this game will play tomorrow at 4 o'clock, where the winner of this game will go on and play tomorrow at 6 o'clock. And as I mentioned, Hall Cease is quite a tall young man. He's got to be around 6'2". Quite tall. 1-1 the count right now. All steps back in the box, and here we go. Aiden Aron trying to continue his dominance. And if it wasn't for just an error by his catcher and his third baseman, he would still have a shutout here in this game. But it happens. It's a team sport, and you got to learn to pick each other up. Three-1 the count. Behind the plate today, we have a Mr. Hart who's calling the balls and strikes as another ball is called, and Hall Cease gets to plant his flag on first base. Now batting, number 24, Joe Huggins. Joe Huggins is a big Braves fan. Aiden Aron still on the mound, and he has pitched a pretty dominant game and has even hit very well too. Oh no, he's getting up. Oh, Hall Cease thought about stealing third too. Little bit of a off throw by Crawford, who's had a pretty good day today at the plate, going 2 for 3. Scoring twice. Looks like Aiden wants Aiden to pass him the ball. And once again, this base running is getting more and more aggressive as the game goes on. And for Tri-County, they have to try to pull back closer as these innings go on. 2-0 count for Joe Huggins. And they're going to attempt to pick off Hall Cease. Hall Cease got a little bit confused with those long legs. 3 strides, he was almost at third base, but decided to turn back, and Aiden Welch almost got him. Aiden Welch playing a lot of cat and mouse, and a big swing right there by Joe Huggins. And they're not messing around with Hall Cease. They keep throwing that ball to Aiden Welch, trying to pick off Hall Cease. And second baseman is on second base. Seems to be more of a mental strategy than it seems to be working out for him. 2-2 the count right now as Joe Huggins hoping to either put the ball in play. Oh, foul tip hard back to the backstop. Little bit of a bad throw right there by number 14, Jake Runkle. He's in the on deck circle, just trying to help everybody out, but a little bit of an errant throw. But let's continue the game here. Another pitch. Ooh, and there's another K for Aiden Aron, and the first out of this inning for Jefferson.
Number 14, Jake Runkle.
Jake Runkle up to bat. Jake Runkle likes the song In the Summertime by Shaggy. There's another strike pitched by Aiden Aron. We got a steal here. Called him safe on that one. Appears that Hall Cease managed to squeak his 6'2" frame down underneath the glove as he slides in safe to third. So aggressive base running right there by Hall Cease. He's trying to inspire Tri-County back. It was a tight play, and I got to give it to the third baseman. It was a good catch, good throw. Another strike as that puts it at 0-2 the count. Here comes a pitch. And Hall Cease, who's been aggressive base running all day, kind of dives head first in the home plate, put his arms back, kind of looked like a plane coming in from the landing. But that does score the third run for Tri-County. As Runkle's trying to get back in there. Now, Runkle, me and him share a common taste in movies, as he liked the movie Grown Ups, which I'm assuming make him a big Adam Sandler fan. Oh, and that's a little dribbler foul ball. Adam Sandler is one of America's treasures. Made many movies, a lot of wholesome family movies, silly comedy. We should really learn to appreciate a man like that as he is still alive, as very often we wait too long to appreciate such lightheartedness. As he got another foul tip right there by Runkle. Oh, no. They called him out. I assumed that Hart was calling a foul tip, but apparently that was his way of calling him out. It's another K right there for Aiden Arant.
Now batting number 10, Reese Still.
Reese Still up to bat right now. And there's a big old swing by Reese Still. Aiden Arant seems to have things figured out there on the mound. Third base coach wants the call to talk to Still for a little bit there. Favorite movie for Reese Still, Talladega Nights. As Ricky Bobby once said, you ain't first, you're last. So trying to inspire his team to be first today. He's showing the bunt. Looks like he likes to show off his wheels just like his favorite movie. Favorite song, American Way by Hank Williams Jr. He enjoys farming and hunting and fishing. So he is what we like to call a real red-blooded American. When he grows up, he wants to be a farmer, which is one of the most honorable jobs to have here in this great nation, to help supply food. Ooh, big old swing, and Aiden Arant once again retires another batter.
Count for Aiden Arant, 60 pitches for Aiden Arant.
So at the end of the fourth, Aiden Arant has thrown 60 balls, has only allowed 3 runs, and like I said, 2 of those really don't fall on him, but looks like we got a little bit of a huddle going out between each team as we go to begin the 5th inning. I'm going to finish talking about the coaches for Tri-County because I didn't get a chance to. Jody Huggins, I got to finish up, but I did not get to say his favorite hobbies are hunting and fishing. Jody Huggins is one of the coaches for Tri-County. We'll have another brief break in the action in the exchanging of innings. I'm going to try to talk a little bit about Jefferson's coaches. Jefferson, like I said, their head coach is Doug Hinson, assisted by Landon Hicks. And the person I didn't get to talk about yet is Lynn Rollings. Lynn Rollings is an insurance agent. His favorite food is tuna. His favorite movie is Troy with Brad Pitt. Favorite baseball team, Atlanta Braves. Favorite sports idol, Peyton Manning. Favorite band, Johnny Cash. Favorite sports played growing up? Football, baseball, and basketball. He enjoys riding horses, hunting, fishing, and coaching kids. So glad he gets to do one of his favorite hobbies and coaching kids. As I mentioned, I myself and 3 other men up in this booth have coached some pretty successful baseball teams and some other sports teams. I'm actually sitting next to one of my coaches up here in Evan Christian as we took our 6U team all the way to the States. It was a fun ride. Both our boys really enjoyed themselves, and all the boys on the team really had fun. Leadoff batter for Jefferson, number 7, Blake Soul. As watch his first ball go by on a pretty hesitant swing, as 0-1 is the count. As Corbin Perry seems to have found his rhythm, even though that one was a ball. 1-1 the count, but at least he's pitching down the middle instead of off to his right. Another strike right here. 1-2 the count. Two the count as that one's in the dirt. There's a little dribbler. Foul ball. Here comes a windup as we get set back up. Another count. Looks like we got 3-2 the count. Sol, I think, thought he had 4 balls, but went to go throw his bat, and for the old heart behind the plate told him differently. And there's another ball. Now Corbin seems to be pitching off to the right, or to my right, his left.
Now batting, number 13, Tucker Rogers.
Now batting, the man of many options in his future careers, Tucker Roger. Oh, and as I mentioned in the previous inning, if Corbin Perry doesn't start to center these balls, he really likes to drift the ball to the right, his right, our left, which is dangerous because most batters are right-handed batters. So he's going to hit a lot of batters if he doesn't get the ball under control. That ball's hit straight in the gap. As the ball's thrown home, got him out. What a throw by Tylen Parker, who pitched the first 3 innings of this game. Now he's out in center field as he guns him down from center field. Great play right there by Gibson to be calm, under control, and hang on to that ball. Great play by these young men right there as number 5 is up to bat. Wyatt Ford, the DH. Wyatt Ford typically is one of the outfielders, and as I mentioned earlier, his favorite baseball player is Mickey Mantle. He enjoys cross country and track in his off season from baseball, and when he grows up, he wants to be anything but a lawyer. I don't blame you. That's a lot of school, Wyatt, and also a lot of stress. One of Wyatt's favorite things to do in his free time is running and gaming. And as you can imagine, being a cross-country runner, he probably has some type of stamina and a lot of discipline. After official review, the runner is out at home. It was a great play by Gibson and an even better throw by Tylen Parker from center field. As Tri-County is staying in this game by inspirational play by a few select players.
Now batting, number 5.
Yeah.
Wyatt.
Right there, there's another strike on the first pitch by Corbin Perry as he started off the first 2 batters. See if he can continue the success as he pitches through. And once again, head drifts. Oh, there it is. There's another great play by Gibson as he throws the number 24, Joe Huggins, the third baseman. And so far, Gibson has been one of the more dominant players on the infield for Tri-County this inning. Got to give it to Gibson. Those are 2 heads-up plays on loose balls that he's made. 2-1 the count. Here comes the pitch. Foul tip back to the backstop. So Jefferson had 2 guys on base, 2 guys in scoring position, and both guys were thrown out. One was thrown out from the center fielder, Tyler Parker. The other one was thrown out by Gibson, Vincent Gibson, the catcher at third. Oh, and there's another errant throw left. If you guys have ever seen the movie Major Leagues, Charlie Sheen, in the character of Wild Thing, had a very similar pitching style to Corbin Perry. Got a lot of speed, a lot of power, but he's got to get it under control. That was a drop 3 rule right there. Pretty routine out at first base as Tri-County gets off the field. And Jefferson held scoreless for the second time this game.
Corbin Perry, 23.
As we now enter the bottom of the 5th inning, Aiden Aron still on the mound. He's only thrown 60 pitches. I believe he's allowed to throw 95 pitches in one game, and then that would make him ineligible for 72 hours. Crawford, early on when he was warming up before the game, he had a pretty strong arm thrown from the pitch from the home plate, but right there didn't look too good. Hopefully he just shakes it off. And looks like the batter right now for Tri-County, number 11, Brad Hightower. First pitch in, ball outside for Aiden Aron. Hightower started off the game as a sub, but hopefully he can get in here and inspire some people to play. It's another swing right there. One of these things that Tri-County's done, and I'm a little surprised, is they just don't decide if they're going to swing it or not, and kind of, ooh, that hit the bat. Looks like the ball did not hit the bat. Couple of just inexperienced errors so far today by Tri-County, just not getting the bat down. And there's a ball hit straight to center field. Center field comes down with the ball. Now batting, number 5 for Tri-County, Corbin Perry. Corbin Perry, who came out on the mound, has done pretty well for himself so far on the mound after a little bit of a shaky spot. First pitch for a runt against Perry, strike. Corbin Perry shows bunt. Looks like it's a foul ball. That goes to 0-2 the count. Here's a ball. 1-2 the count. Nobody on base, one out. That ball is straight down, and Aiden Arant adds to his list of Ks that he has today.
Now batting, number 0, Vincent Gibson.
Next up at the plate for Tri-County, their star of the 5th inning, Vincent Gibson, their catcher. Vincent Gibson has really shown himself to be a very dominant catcher. Was something you like to see at a young age is these guys that have really command of the field from behind the plate. As he watches the first ball go strike right down the center of the plate. Aiden Arant with another pitch. Gibson lays down a bunt. And that's an out. Ball actually deflects off of Gibson on the bunt, which by South Carolina high school rules deems you out as a player. So if you hit a ball with your body, and you are considered out.
70 pitches for Aiden Arant.
It seemed like a good bunt, but looked like Vincent Gibson got a little bit too ahead of it. Touched the ball with his leg, and he is out. So that was another 3-up, 3-down inning as we skate into the 6th inning in a ball game that has scored 7, Jefferson to 3, Tri-County. Now, this is a game of rhythms and streaks, so it is still anybody's ball game, even though right now there is a 4-point lead held by Jefferson. Jefferson did have a pretty good first showing, first couple innings, and they've only not scored in 2 innings, so they have scored in 4 of the 6 innings, so, well, 3 of the 5 innings that they played so far, and us entering into the 6th inning. Let's see. Now, I'm being told yesterday that Tri-County actually pitched 6 different guys yesterday. They threw the whole thing at them. A whole kit and caboodle, as one of my press mates up here, Daryl Catola, once again, one of the figureheads of Beaufort County. He actually built the fields himself with his own hands, and he's a heck of a golfer. Corbin Perry still on the mound. And Gibson, even though he had a little bit of a setback there at bat, he's going to hope to continue his dominance here as catcher. And when you have a dominant catcher, it really seems to take hold of the game and slows it down for the opposing scoring team. Now, it did take him a little bit to get involved, but Chance Bass up to bat right now. And if you guys do remember, his favorite player is Aaron Judge. Plays for the, as we like to call it, the dark side, the Yankees. You never actually meet a Yankees fan. You just see the people's wearing the hat. And most of the time you try not to talk to them too much about how big their payroll is, because they got a big old payroll up there in New York. 1-1 the count right now. Oh, looks like we're getting 2-1 the count. Corbin Perry lines up. Ball thrown. That's a high foul ball. Look out to the people in the stands. Almost hits a young man from St. Andrews. As we're here down in beautiful South Carolina, yesterday was a little bit of a rain party, but looks like today going to have some beautiful clear skies. Not too far from the beach. Really is a lovely area to come and visit with your family, and a great area to host the Dixie Boys State tournament. So got 3-2 the count. Got ourselves a full hand. Here comes another pitch. Corbin, tight ball inside, really playing with that line. Now up to bat, I believe we have number 4. 34, I apologize, Connor Whittaker.
Now batting number 34, Connor Whitaker.
Whitaker, my apologies on that one. Connor's favorite food, cheeseburgers. His favorite movie, Need for Speed. Believe Keanu Reeves is in that one, is it not? Might be mistaken. Favorite baseball team, Atlanta Braves. Favorite baseball player, number 3 for the Philadelphia Phillies, Bryce Harper. A lot of Bryce Harper fans down here. Favorite song, Loud and Heavy. Doesn't play any other sports, but he does enjoy in his free time playing baseball, fishing, and gaming. Looks like we got a new pitcher on the mound. Number 1.
Final pitch count for Corbin Perry, 29.
Number 1, Hunter Steedley, coming off the bench.
Tri-County, number 1, Aiden Roman.
Hunter Steedley. Hunter Steedley on the mound.
Pitching for Tri-County, number 1, Hunter Stedman.
Looks like Corbin Perry's been subbed out. I didn't see if he went to the dugout or if he moved back out to the outfield. If you guys could pardon me a second, I believe I have a wasp up here. I'm going to try to kill it real quick. Hopefully Pete is not watching this because I have just killed a wasp up here in the dugout. Did not want to get stung. Had a long day. Number 34, as we were talking, Connor Whittaker still up to bat. Favorite baseball player is Bryce Harper. He's also my son's favorite baseball player and really is one of these players that seems to not only be an impact on but off the field. Even when he was injured, he helped lead the Phillies with old Philly Rob as our manager to take us to the World Series, even though we did lose. It's another ball inside. It's his first pitch. Oh, and there's another ball inside. Just like Corbin Perry, seems to like that inside on the right batters. It's a dangerous line you're walking there because you could end up hitting quite a number of batters and just walking them. 2-0 the count right now. So we're in our second to last inning. One thing I will say about Steedley is he is not playing around with these base runners. Both the shortstop and second baseman are within 10 feet of second base. In fact, the second baseman, he's got his hands on his hips. He seems to just know that they're going to keep throwing the ball back and forth, almost like playing a game of catch with the shortstop out there. I don't believe we're under the time constraints of the MLB. But once again, tries to pick him off. Steedley throws his hat down in dismay. And number 99 for Jefferson just keeps walking himself off the bag. There's a strike as 2-1 is the count after about 15 balls thrown to the shortstop at second base. We finally get another pitch. Here comes another pitch, and it tips off his bat in play. Pretty routine out at first base. Steadily remain calm and under control. One of the most important things in baseball is remaining calm. There's going to be errors. There's going to be mistakes. But if you can find some maturity in some of these young men to remain calm even when they drop the ball or the ball becomes kind of errant, they're still able to rebound. That's a good thing about having some mature young men on the field. Number 10, Eubanks up to bat right now. He's got a runner on third, trying to bring him home. That ball's hit to shortstop. Ball is thrown. That was a great straddle right there by the first baseman. And he gets him out. Shortstop, great play right there. Held number 99 for Jefferson on first or on third and got the guy off out first base. Aiden Welch up to bat right now. Aiden Welch had himself a pretty good inning last time running the bases. Brought himself all the way home to score. Here comes a pitch. Ball's hit high to center field, and see if Tylen Parker can get underneath it. He can. Tylen Parker is a good ball player. Showed it on the mound, and then when he was moved to center field so far, he's picked somebody off at home, and now puts himself in some pretty good position to get underneath the ball and get the third out for Tri-County. Tri-County's done a pretty good job these last 2 innings preventing scores to be able to keep themselves in the ball game. Now let's see if they're able to score some runs to put themselves back in contention to win the ball game. This game is held at Oscar Frazier Park. We're on field number 1. And you really got to give a big shout out to all of the employees, volunteers for having this tournament be possible today. And I heard yesterday was quite an endeavor with all of the rain and lightning delays, but these county employees really did their job and got these fields ready. Got to give a big shout out to old Jack Fripp, the head of ground maintenance, just always being ready and making these fields playable. We're going to let Aiden Arant warm up a little bit here as I go off. We'll see you guys back at the first pitch. Leadoff batter for Tri-County has been one of their stars, one of their leaders, Tylen Parker. He's shown up in every position he's played. Let's see if he can show up at the plate as he lays down a bunt that squeaks by him. 0-1 the count is just Arant has thrown just one pitch. Tylen Parker trying to make something happen with the bat, and seems like he's kind of forcing it and rushing it. If he could just relax a little bit and have the type of confidence that he does when he's playing in the field. Aiden Arant throwing some type of heat on that one there.
Now batting number 2, Briar Long.
Briar Long, the starting second baseman for Tri-County, up to bat. And last time out there, didn't even get involved too much as the shortstop, and Steedley played catch out there trying to catch the guy running. Watches the first ball go down and outside. Here comes a pitch. Right down the old gut for a strike as Long watches it. 1-1 the count here, and still a reasonable game for Tri-County to come back, but there goes another big old swing by Long as it puts him down 1-2 the count. Oh, out. Tri-County's had a little bit of an issue today with either pulling the trigger on their swing or holding the bat back. And they just tend to do this little lackadaisical swing, which I'm not sure why they do that. I'm sure their coach isn't too happy about it, but it's like they know it's a bad pitch. They still kind of half swing. Not too sure. Now up to bat, Hall Cease, who had a pretty inspirational run around the bases last time, stealing, diving under, but he watches the first ball go strike on him. Oh, man, that's a heck of a throw right there by Aiden Arant, who is dominated on the plate right now. He's pitched the ball 71 times so far, and another K. 3 up, 3 down for Aiden Arant, as that takes us into the 7th inning.
80 pitches for Aiden Arant.
And I apologize, that actually took him to 80 pitches, not 71. Now, like I said, Dixie boys are allowed to pitch the ball 95 times before they are considered ineligible to pitch for 72 hours. So right now at 80 pitches going into the 7th, he's sitting in a very good position to be able to close this game out and pitch a complete game, which at this point, most coaches will just let him go and let him finish the game. Now let's see if Hunter can continue to shut out Jefferson here at their last time at bat in the top of the 7th inning. If he can shut him out, he puts his team in position to battle back into this game. But you got to take it one step at a time, one batter at a time, and even all the way down to one pitcher at a time. One pitch at a time. I apologize. Sometimes I just get lost in my words. Tri-County pitcher right now, Hunter Steedley. Let's see if we can learn a little bit about him. He doesn't play any other sports, and when he grows up, he wants to be a welder, which is a very lucrative position, and especially a lot of days, a lot more people are turning back to the trades to make their living, which that's what makes this great country of ours go. Leadoff batter for Jefferson, their ace. Number 3, Aiden Arant, who is also another tall individual, but has been a spectacular pitcher thus far, and has even hit a massive double to score 2 guys in this game thus far.
Leading off, number 3, Aiden Arant.
Aiden Arant's really been one of the more impressive. Looks like we've got a call by Blue in the middle of a pitch. It seemed to be some type of knuckleball thrown on the outside. You don't see many of these kids throw a knuckleball. It was not a very fast ball, but it's still very impressive the fact that he tried to throw one. Oh, 2-0 the count. And that is a high pop fly. Nobody's getting it. I don't know what's going on there, but nobody was talking. Third baseman turned around, and Aiden Arant scampers to second. I don't know if you consider that an error, but on who you do, but the third baseman, shortstop, second baseman, and pitcher all looked at each other. Nobody got the ball, and it seemed that they were looking for the third baseman to get the ball. Crawford, who's gone 2 for 3 today in batting, scored twice and hit one pop fly. Takes a big old hack there for his first strike. No outs. Aiden Arant on second base, looking to score and continue his cut out there. Consider his campaign for MVP of this tournament. Now there is a sportsmanship award that Beaufort County does give out, and Dixie County gives it, or Dixie Boys gives out to a young man who is showing. Oh wow, great shot to the gap as Aiden Arant is unleashing. Looks like they're going to check down. Aiden Arant scores, brings the score 8-3. And Crawford makes you understand that how good of a batter he really is and base runner he is. Very offensive player, Crawford is, and hasn't shown up too much at catcher. Hasn't had the need to, but offensively he's shown his skill. Now batting number 7, and let's see if they can get this pop fly down here. Good. Second baseman, number 7, catches it. Number 2, I apologize. Number 2 catches it for Tri-County.
Now batting number 13, Tucker Rogers.
Here's been one of my favorite guys to learn about, Tucker Rogers. He's kind of had an up and down day at baseball, but sure knew how to write his information. Let's see if he can get himself back on track and be as successful as I've seen him be in warm-ups. Now it looks like Gibson's going to try to pick him off at second. Safe, but Gibson, you got to give it to Gibson. He's doing a great job at catcher. And, not every play is going to be, a pickoff, but man, is he good. He is a good catcher. Every year we host this event, you seem to find a couple players that you really get behind, and Gibson might be one of those guys for me this year. Each year, you look at like the beneficial players for each team, which guys really push themselves to either victory or at least keep them in the game. And Gibson's giving it everything he has. 2-0 the count. 3-0. I apologize. 3-0 the count. Where I'm sitting in the booth, my scoreboard is taken up by a nice little window sill, so I'm not able to see the scoreboard all the time unless I bend out a camera. Looks like they're going to try to pick off Crawford as he scampers back to second base. Full day of games. We got 7 baseball games going on today in a span of 8 hours. So, third baseman dropped it. Crawford once again finds himself being safe, as number 13 is walked. Now up to bat for Jefferson. Number 5, Wyatt Ford.
Now batting number 5, Wyatt Ford.
And once again, for the third time in today's game, we find ourselves with Crawford on third base, looking to score and extend the lead. Was that I believe we had a balk. Called. As Crawford once again scores for the third time today, extending the lead 9-3. Seem to be having a conference with the field umpire, trying to explain why he allowed those base runners to advance one base. And that's a good hit right there to the shortstop. Let's see if he can turn it out at first base. Oh, no. Oh. He didn't want to take too many dances. Number 13 will come across on a error by the third baseman. And now batting, number 99, Chance Bass. Here comes a windup. That's a far ball outside, but there's nobody on base, so Gibson can take his time getting the ball. As the lead has now been extended for Jefferson, leading 10-3. Another ball on the outside. That's 2-0 count. As I got one of our captains up here for the rookie team, Easton Christian was a pretty dominant baseball player this past season. Led the all-star team at pitcher. And it was our leadoff batter. Mr. Consistency at the plate. And tough as nails, I watched him take a line drive right to the face and finish practice. As Chance Bass now takes first base on a walk from Steedley.
Now batting for the 34, Connor Whitaker.
Connor Whitaker up to bat number 34. Started off the game on the bench, but now has moved in and looks like they're going to sub out another pitcher. And this seems to be a pattern of Tri-County. Yesterday they pitched 6 different guys, and looks like they're going to be bringing in the left fielder. Let me double check to see who I had in my left fielder. Number 11, Brad Hightower, who must have entered in the game later. This is another guy who was a sub early in the game to start off the game. But let's see what we can learn about Brad Hightower. Brad Hightower's favorite food? Hamburgers. His normal position is shortstop. Favorite player, Ronald Acuna, who plays for his favorite baseball team, the Atlanta Braves. He also plays football and basketball. He enjoys fishing. And when he grows up, he doesn't know what he wants to be. So he's got a lot of options here.
Brad Hightower.
Brad Hightower. Going to continue my theme from last year. He's got pretty good head of hair on him. It's always impressive to see what type of lettuce these guys have underneath their ball caps. Especially with Morgan Wallen being such an influential figure in today's world for young kids. It's always cool to see if some of these kids like to mimic him and got themselves a nice little mullet. I don't believe Brad is sporting a mullet, but he does have himself a nice head of locks. We are in the final inning. Tri-County just trying to stop the bleeding, trying to keep the ball game within comeback distance, as they say, within 7 runs, which is possible if you got your rally caps on at home for Tri-County. Connor Whitaker just trying to keep the ball alive. Ball outside here. First ball, 1-0 the count. 2 outs on the board, man on first. Looks like he's stealing second. Gibson, little bit to the left, a little bit delayed, but he is safe at second base. There's a strike, puts us at 2-1 the count. And this press box is popping. We got 3 fields going at the same time. 2 14U game and 1 13U game. There's another ball as Whittaker ducks down. On field number 2, the 13U boys game is going on right now. And it's actually led by one of Beaufort County's staff as the head coach, Alex Hunt. A young man who actually played baseball in college himself. And there's another foul tip. That brings us to a full count for number 34. Brings it to a 3-2 count. Now we immediately have another game following this game on field number 1 at 12:30, where we will see that's a fair ball hit. Puts a man in scoring position here. As I mentioned, the next game played here on field 1 is going to be Loris and Lotta. Last year when I was calling these games, Lotta was one of my favorite teams to watch, even though I am a Beaufort County employee. They had some really good players on that team. Oh, no. The third baseman had a little bit of an error, which allowed the man from second to scamper to third on that error. But if he would have got that ball cleanly, you're talking about a completely different ball game and an ending of the inning.
Now batting, number 10, Bryson Eubanks.
Mr. Eubanks is up to bat right now. watches his first one go ball. Bryson Eubanks, Little Baby, is his favorite artist. Third baseman struggling to keep the ball today as another run scores. Hopefully this young man can shake it off. I know sometimes it feels like things just can't go your way, but he's a good ball player. Number 24, Joe Huggins, just having a little bit of a rough inning. Hopefully he can shake it off. I mean, it's okay to mess up. It's a great thing about sports is it's never over until the final whistle blows. Now batting, number 1, Aiden Welch. Looks like we got another ball call, putting both these runners in scoring position for Aiden Welch. Now, one thing to remember here is even though Jefferson has the possibility of going up 10 runs, there is no mercy rule when you are the visiting team in the last inning. That means the other team does get a chance to bat. Tri-County does get a chance to bat, but anything can happen in sports, and one of the main reasons so many young men play it builds character, creates discipline, good habits, and obviously, for the most part, it's fun and memorable for the rest of their lives. 2-1 the count right now for one of the Aidens. Aiden Welch has had himself a pretty good ball game. Almost everybody on Jefferson has had a very good ball game. And there's a ball hit in between the gap of second base and first. Not sure what the second baseman was doing, and that right there allows Jefferson to go up by 10 runs, which I believe may end the inning if they go up by 10. Now, apparently they're going off how many runs they score in the inning. Oh, I apologize. In state, there is an unlimited run in the 7th inning. Oh, wow. Okay, so I'm just being told by my informant, Evan Christian, a man of many knowledge. That's how you speak. of a lot of knowledge, that there is no run rules in any inning. So there's just the mercy rule on the total scores. So you can score as many runs as you want in each inning, which is a little bit different from the Dixie Junior rules, where there is caps on how many runs they can score per inning. So my apologies for being... Oh, wow. Overthrow here. Once again, a miscommunication by Tri-County. They just can't seem to get on the same page. And it's understandable, you know, sometimes when you're losing, you're a little frustrated and you're not really working as well together. As Aiden Arant comes up to bat, and he has had himself a day on the mound behind the plate. He has had himself a day. As the pitcher walks back to the mound. Here comes the pitch. And we're looking at a strike here. 3-1 the count. Three-two the count. You hand me that scorecard. And that is a high ball hit. Shortstop makes the play, and they get out of this inning just down 10 runs. We're heading into the bottom of the 7th inning, where Tri-County's got to try to score 10 runs to make this game go extra innings and 11 runs to win this game. My assumption would be, and my assumption is correct, that Aiden Arant is heading back out to the mound, and he's already pitched 80 balls, but so far he has been pretty precise, almost like a surgeon out there on the mound, carving up these Tri-County batters. Tri-County has played a good game. It was a tight game early on, and Aiden Arant really seemed to come into his own. His arm only got stronger as the game went on, and he's got 13 Ks so far for today, and that's pretty impressive for one of these young men. Sometimes I think people, and even the kids themselves, forget just how young they are and how much time they have to even grow and develop. But to have such talent, such skill at this age, and be playing at such a high level is always incredible to watch. It's always entertaining. It's enjoyable. And that was a pretty good throw right there by Crawford. As I said earlier in the pregame, he was really showing off his arm, and then as the game had gone on, he only had one throw, and it just didn't go his way. Leadoff batter for Tri-County, number 24, Joe Huggins.
Joe
Huggins, who is hoping to rebound after a little bit of a rough inning last time out there when he was in the field. He's done pretty good at the plate, but hopefully he can find a good mental space. Looks like he's showing a bunt just outside their third baseman, number 10. Bryson Eubanks was almost in his lap. He was so ready for that bunt. Here comes the pitch. Oh! And that'll make you second-guess bunting. I don't think that was done intentionally by Aiden, but that was almost a headshot. And there's a bunt fouled back, and that puts him at 1-2 in the count. Strike 3. And here is Aiden Arant again with his 14th K of the day. Now batting number 3, Riley Cadell, one of the brothers on the team.
Now batting number 3, Riley Cadell.
He also shows the bunt, pulled it back in time, and that is a ball. We haven't seen too much of Riley Cadell today, but let's see if we can learn a little bit about him. Oh, that's a high ball coming back towards us. Just missed the press box. Riley Cadell normally plays outfield. His favorite food is sushi. He's a Braves fan. And if you're a Braves fan, 9 times out of 10, if you're not going to be a Bryce Harper fan, you're going to be an Acuna Jr. fan. He doesn't have a favorite song. He doesn't play any other sports. He enjoys hunting and fishing. And when he grows up, he wants to be a welder as well. Looks So we got 2-1 the count. 1 out on the board. Three-1 is the count as our behind the plate umpire Hart. He's going to try to bunt. Takes the bunt away, and there's another strike. Now we're looking at a full count here.
Now that 10, Ashton.
And Aiden likes working out of a full count. He's so comfortable and calm and collective as he throws a ball there, puts Cadell on base. Now batting, we have,
number 6,
which I believe
Cadell.
is Riley's brother, Reese, number 6. His favorite food is steak. Favorite baseball player, Michael Harris II. He's a Braves fan. That's a ball inside. Plays football. He's also wants to be a farmer when he grows up. Once again, that's something I want to be when I grow up as well, whenever I get the chance to do that. 1-1 the count right now, as he is trying to bring his brother into scoring position, and if not, to home. And there's a swing as his brother steals second on an errant swing. And once again, Tri-County kind of doing that lackadaisical swing, almost like the play going through their whole batting lineup with this hesitant swing. I'm not sure understanding. I'm not really understanding why they're doing it, but these kids can hit. They just got to have a little bit more confidence as he watches that ball go inside. We're looking at a 2-2 count. Three-two the count. He called foul or he called that a foul ball? Sorry, I apologize. It's a foul ball. 2-2 the count. And there's another K by Mr. K himself, Aiden
That was
Arant.
Arant's 96th pitch.
So Aiden Arant has actually maxed out his pitch count. He has pitched it 96 times, and unfortunately he's not going to be able to finish the game, but you really got to give this young man a round of applause. What a day on the mound for him. 15 Ks. 15 Ks for that young man, and now he's going to skate on out there to left field as they're bringing in their left fielder. And we'll wait here to get a number on him. I believe it's number 34. Oh. And it is. It is Whittaker.
Now pitching for Jefferson, number 34, Connor Whitaker.
Connor Whitaker. He was a sub to begin the game, has worked his way all the way in and now pitching. He's just got to get 1 out here at the bottom of the 7th. A little bit of a height change. Ball's going to have a different trajectory coming out of his hands, considering that he may be a full 8 inches shorter than Aiden Arant. So, like he's getting some coaching up by some of his teammates. Hopefully he can come in here and do his job of getting 1 out and ending the game for Jefferson. But we have number 11 for Tri-County. Number 11 for Tri-County, trying to keep Tri-County alive. Brad Hightower has got the weight of his team on his shoulders. Now, this game, win or lose for Tri-County or for Jefferson, they do live to see another day of baseball in this tournament. It's a double elimination.
Brad Hightower.
Let's see what Brad Hightower can do. He's got a man on second. As Whittaker takes another look back. And there's a foul ball tip back, hits the top of the fence. This has been a really good game of pitching today, even though for Tri-County we've seen about 3 or 4 different pitchers. All of them pitch very well. From Tylen Parker to Corbin Perry to Steedley to now Hightower. And that ball's in play. Hit deep. Oh, not hit deep. Hit high and fly. And that's your ball game, folks. Jefferson wins the game 13-3 against Tri-County. Now, Tri-County will actually play again tomorrow at 4 o'clock.
That's ball game.
And Jefferson will play again tomorrow as well at 6:30. It's a great ball game for both these people. Signing out. Seeing you soon for the next game here at Beaufort County, field number 1.